Welcome to BookBuzz Reviews and Summaries. The Art of Closing the Sale, the Key to Making More Money Faster in the World of Professional Selling by Brian Tracy. A three-part journey through the book's core. Part 1. In the electrifying world of professional selling, where ambition meets opportunity, Brian Tracy's The Art of Closing the Sale, the Key to Making More Money Faster in the World of Professional Selling, stands as a beacon for those who dare to master the craft. This book, pulsing with practical wisdom and hard-earned insights, is not just a guide. It's a battle plan for turning prospects into loyal customers, conversations into contracts, and dreams into reality. Part 1 of this transformative work lays the foundation, igniting the reader's understanding of what it truly means to close a sale. With clarity and vigor, Tracy unveils the mindset, strategies, and principles that separate the average salesperson from the elite. Let us dive into the essence of this first part, where the stage is set for a journey towards sales mastery. The power of closing, why it matters. From the opening pages, Tracy grabs you by the collar and pulls you into the heart of selling, the close. Closing, he declares, is not just the final handshake or the signed contract. It's the culmination of trust, value, and connection. It's the moment where preparation meets opportunity, and the salesperson's skill is put to the ultimate test. Tracy wastes no time in establishing that closing is not a trick or a gimmick. It's an art form, a disciplined dance that requires confidence, empathy, and precision. He paints a vivid picture. Every sale is a bridge between a customer's need and your solution, and the close is the final step across that bridge. Without it, all prior efforts, prospecting, presenting, negotiating, are like a symphony left unfinished. Tracy's energy is contagious as he underscores the stakes. Closing well means more than just money. It's about building a career, a reputation, and a life of abundance. He challenges the reader to see themselves not as a mere salesperson, but as a trusted advisor, a problem solver, a catalyst for change in the lives of their clients. This mindset shift is the cornerstone of Part 1, setting the tone for the practical strategies to come. Tracy's simple yet commanding prose makes you feel the weight of this truth. Mastering the close is the key to unlocking your potential in the world of professional selling. The psychology of selling, understanding the buyer. At the core of Tracy's philosophy is a deep respect for the buyer's mind. In Part 1, he dives into the psychology of decision-making, peeling back the layers of why people buy or don't. With the precision of a surgeon, he explains that every sale hinges on emotion, not logic. Customers don't buy products or services. They buy feelings, security, status, comfort, or confidence. Tracy's insight here is both simple and profound. To close a sale, you must first understand what drives your prospect. Are they seeking to solve a problem, to gain an advantage, to avoid pain? By asking these questions, Tracy invites the reader to step into the customer's shoes, to see the world through their eyes. He introduces the concept of the fear of loss and the desire for gain as twin engines that power every purchasing decision. With vivid examples, he shows how top salespeople tap into these emotions, gently guiding prospects toward a decision that feels right. Tracy's approach is never manipulative. Instead, he emphasizes authenticity. He urges salespeople to listen actively, to ask questions that uncover needs, and to build rapport that fosters trust. This section is a masterclass in human connection, delivered with a clarity that makes complex ideas feel accessible. Tracy's words crackle with energy, urging the reader to not just read but act, to start seeing every interaction as a chance to build a bridge to the close. The foundations of confidence. No great author leaves their reader adrift, and Tracy is no exception. In part 1, he lays a rock-solid foundation for success by emphasizing the importance of confidence. Closing a sale, he argues, begins long before the final conversation. It starts with the salesperson's belief in themselves, their product, and their value. Tracy's voice is both encouraging and unrelenting. Doubt is the enemy of the close. If you don't believe in what you're selling, why should your customer? He shares practical steps to build this confidence, from mastering product knowledge to practicing positive self-talk. Tracy's storytelling shines as he weaves in anecdotes of salespeople who transformed their careers by embracing this mindset. One story of a struggling rookie who became a top performer by studying their product inside and out feels like a spark of inspiration. Tracy doesn't just tell you to be confident. He shows you how, with actionable advice, like preparing thoroughly, visualizing success, and treating every no as a step closer to a yes. His words pulse with momentum, pushing the reader to shed self-doubt and step boldly into every sales encounter. Preparation, the unsung hero of closing. If confidence is the fuel, preparation is the engine. Tracy dedicates a significant portion of part 1 to the art of getting ready, because no close happens by accident. He breaks down the importance of knowing your product, your customer, and your market. With a teacher's patience and a coach's intensity, he explains how preparation builds credibility. When you walk into a meeting armed with facts, insights, and solutions, you're not just selling, you're serving. Tracy's examples, drawn from real-world sales scenarios, bring this to life. The salesperson who anticipates objections, the one who tailors their pitch to the client's unique needs, the one who turns a skeptical prospect into a raving fan. He also introduces the concept of the pre-close, a subtle but powerful idea. By setting the stage early, through thoughtful questions, clear communication, and small agreements, you make the final close feel natural, almost inevitable. Tracy's prose here is like a drumbeat, steady and relentless, driving home the message that preparation is not optional. It's the difference between mediocrity and mastery. The sales process, a roadmap to the close. Part 1 concludes with a clear, compelling overview of the sales process, which Tracy presents as a roadmap to the close. He outlines the key stages: prospecting, qualifying, presenting, handling objections, and closing, with a focus on how each step builds toward the final moment of agreement. His approach is systematic yet flexible, acknowledging that every sale is unique, but grounded in universal principles. Tracy's ability to distill complex ideas into simple, actionable steps is what makes this section so gripping. He doesn't just explain the process. He makes you feel its rhythm, its flow, its inevitability. With vivid clarity, Tracy emphasizes that closing is not a single event, but a series of small victories. Each question answered, each objection overcome, each nod of agreement is a step closer to the sale. His energy is infectious, urging the reader to see the sales process as a journey they can master, one conversation at a time. By the end of part 1, you're not just informed, you're inspired, ready to take on the challenges of selling with newfound clarity and purpose. A promise of more to come. As part 1 draws to a close, Tracy leaves the reader hungry for more. He has laid the groundwork, ignited the spark, and set the stage for the deeper strategies and techniques to come in parts 2 and 3. With the precision of a great author and the passion of a master salesperson, he has crafted a narrative that doesn't just inform, it captivates. This is not a book for the faint of heart. It's a call to action for those who are ready to transform their skills, their careers, and their lives. Part 1 is the foundation, the opening act, the first bold step toward mastering the art of closing the sale. And as the pages turn, you can feel the momentum building, promising even greater insights in the chapters ahead. Part 2. In the electrifying second act of The Art of Closing the Sale, the key to making more money faster in the world of professional selling, Brian Tracy turns up the intensity, guiding the reader deeper into the heart of sales mastery. Part 2 is where the rubber meets the road, where the foundational principles of Part 1, mindset, confidence, and preparation, transform into actionable strategies that make the close not just possible, but inevitable. With the precision of a seasoned storyteller and the urgency of a coach on game day, Tracy delivers a masterclass in techniques, tactics, and the subtle art of guiding prospects to a decision. This section crackles with energy, pulling the reader along a path that feels both exhilarating and achievable, as Tracy unveils the tools to turn conversations into commitments. The anatomy of the close, techniques that work. Part 2 opens with a bold promise. Closing is a skill, and like any skill, it can be learned, honed, and mastered. Tracy dives straight into the mechanics of closing, offering a toolbox of techniques that feel like weapons in the hands of a skilled salesperson. He introduces the concept of the trial close, a subtle way to test the waters by asking questions like, "If we can meet your needs on this, would you be ready to move forward?" These small, low-pressure probes, Tracy explains, build momentum toward the final close without making the prospect feel cornered. His language is clear and direct, yet infused with a sense of possibility, as if he's handing you the keys to a vault of untapped potential. Among the standout techniques is the assumptive close, where the salesperson speaks as if the sale is already done, seamlessly guiding the prospect toward agreement. Tracy's example, a car salesperson casually asking, "Would you like the red one delivered by Friday or Monday?" lands with vivid clarity, showing how confidence and subtlety can work hand in hand. He also introduces the alternative close, offering the prospect a choice between two positive options, like, "Would you prefer the standard package or the premium one?" Each technique is presented with practical examples, making the reader feel as though they're shadowing a master salesperson in action. Tracy's prose pulses with energy, urging you to not just understand these methods, but to practice them, to make them your own. Aspect, handling objections, turning no into yes. No sale is without its hurdles, and Tracy tackles the inevitable challenge of objections with the finesse of a seasoned warrior. In Part 2, he reframes objections not as roadblocks, but as opportunities, signs that the prospect is engaged and considering the offer. With a teacher's patience, he breaks down the psychology behind objections. They often stem from fear, uncertainty, or a lack of information. Tracy's approach is both empathetic and strategic, urging the salesperson to listen carefully, acknowledge the concern, and respond with clarity and value. He offers a step-by-step process for handling objections, starting with active listening. Never argue, Tracy warns, his words carrying the weight of hard-earned wisdom. Instead, he teaches the reader to ask clarifying questions, like, "Can you tell me more about that concern?" This not only shows respect, but also uncovers the root of the objection. From there, Tracy provides scripts and responses to common objections: price, timing, competition, each one crafted to rebuild trust and move the conversation forward. His storytelling shines as he shares anecdotes of salespeople who turned skeptical prospects into loyal clients by addressing concerns with confidence and care. This section is a rallying cry, pushing the reader to see objections as stepping stones to the close. Building trust, the heart of every sale. At the core of Part 2 is Tracy's unwavering belief that trust is the currency of closing. He dedicates significant pages to building and maintaining rapport, emphasizing that people buy from those they like and trust. With vivid clarity, he explains how to create this connection through authenticity, active listening, and genuine interest in the prospect's needs. Tracy's advice is practical yet profound. Smile. Maintain eye contact. Use the prospect's name, and mirror their tone and pace. These small actions, he argues, create a bond that makes the close feel like a natural next step. Tracy also introduces the concept of value stacking, where the salesperson builds a compelling case by highlighting benefits that align with the prospect's deepest desires. He illustrates this with a story of a software salesperson who, by focusing on how their product saved time and boosted productivity, turned a hesitant buyer into an enthusiastic advocate. Tracy's narrative is relentless in its momentum, driving home the idea that trust is not just a feeling, it's a strategy, one that requires intention and skill. The power of questions guiding the conversation. One of Part 2's most compelling lessons is the art of asking questions. Tracy positions questions as the salesperson's greatest weapon, a way to uncover needs, clarify goals, and guide the prospect toward a decision. He introduces the SPIN method: situation, problem, implication, need, payoff. Though he doesn't name it explicitly, breaking it down into a simple framework anyone can use. By asking about the prospect's current situation, identifying their challenges, exploring the consequences of inaction, and highlighting the benefits of your solution, you create a conversation that feels collaborative rather than confrontational. Tracy's examples are vivid and relatable, like a salesperson helping a small business owner realize how their outdated systems are costing them money. His prose is like a drumbeat, steady and purposeful, as he urges the reader to practice these questions until they flow naturally. He emphasizes open-ended questions that invite dialogue, like what's the biggest challenge you're facing right now? This section is a masterclass in control, not through dominance, but through curiosity and care, steering the prospect toward the close with every thoughtful question. Timing and momentum, knowing when to close. Timing, Tracy declares, is everything. In Part 2, he teaches the reader to recognize the signals that a prospect is ready to buy. A nod, a smile, a question about specifics. He warns against the common mistake of talking past the sale, where salespeople, out of nervousness or habit, keep pitching when the prospect is already sold. Tracy's advice is crisp and actionable. When you see the signs, act. He introduces the invitational close, a simple yet powerful technique where you ask, "Why don't we go ahead with this?" in a tone that's confident yet unpressured. Tracy's storytelling keeps the momentum alive, with anecdotes of salespeople who seized the moment and others who hesitated and lost the sale. His words are a call to action, urging the reader to develop a sixth sense for timing, to trust their instincts, and to strike when the iron is hot. This section is electric, filled with the urgency of opportunity and the thrill of closing the deal. A bridge to mastery. As Part 2 draws to a close, Tracy leaves the reader armed with tools, inspired by stories, and hungry for the final chapter. He has taken the principles of Part 1 and given them life, showing how mindset and preparation translate into techniques that win sales. His prose is a blend of clarity and passion, making every page feel like a step closer to mastery. Part 2 is not just a guide, it's a challenge to practice, to refine, and to embrace the art of closing with confidence and skill. With one part left, Tracy sets the stage for the final leap, turning these strategies into a way of life, a path to not just closing sales, but building a legacy in the world of professional selling. Part 3. in the triumphant final act of The Art of Closing the Sale, the key to making more money faster in the world of professional selling. Brian Tracy brings his masterwork to a crescendo, weaving together the mindset, techniques, and strategies from parts 1 and 2 into a powerful blueprint for lasting success. Part 3 is not merely a conclusion, but a call to transformation, where Tracy, with the fervor of a great author and the wisdom of a seasoned mentor, urges the reader to make closing not just a skill, but a way of life. Delivered with unrelenting energy and crystal-clear precision, this section is a rallying cry for salespeople to elevate their craft, sustain momentum, and build a legacy of excellence. Every page pulses with purpose, holding the reader's attention as Tracy unveils the final secrets to mastering the art of the close. The closing mindset, making it a habit. Part 3 opens with a thunderbolt of truth. Closing is not an event, it's a habit. Tracy challenges the reader to internalize the principles of selling, to make confidence, preparation, and persistence second nature. With the intensity of a coach in the final moments of a game, he emphasizes that top salespeople don't just close occasionally, they live for the close, approaching every interaction with purpose and focus. He revisits the importance of self-belief, urging readers to cultivate a mindset of unshakable optimism. "You are what you think about most of the time," Tracy declares, his words crackling with conviction, pushing the reader to visualize success daily. To make closing a habit, Tracy introduces practical routines, daily goal setting, reviewing past successes, and practicing closing techniques in low-stakes settings. His storytelling shines as he shares the journey of a salesperson who, by committing to small, consistent improvements, transformed from average to exceptional. Tracy's prose is both inspiring and relentless, demanding that the reader take responsibility for their growth. This section is a wake-up call, a reminder that mastery comes not from talent, but from discipline forged through repetition and resolve. Advanced closing strategies, sealing the deal. Building on the techniques of Part 2, Tracy dives into advanced closing strategies that separate the good from the great. With the precision of a master craftsman, he introduces methods like the summary close, where the salesperson recaps the key benefits in a compelling way, reinforcing the value before asking for the sale. His example, a real estate agent summarizing how a home meets a buyer's every need, lands with vivid impact, showing how this technique creates a sense of inevitability. Tracy also unveils the order sheet close, where filling out paperwork as if the sale is complete subtly nudges the prospect to commit. Each strategy is presented with clarity and enthusiasm, accompanied by real-world scenarios that make the reader feel as though they're witnessing the close in action. Tracy's voice is electric, urging the reader to experiment with these techniques, to adapt them to their style, and to trust their instincts. He emphasizes the importance of flexibility, knowing when to pivot from one close to another based on the prospect's signals. This section is a treasure trove of actionable wisdom, delivered with a momentum that makes you want to leap into the next sales conversation armed with newfound confidence. Overcoming the final hurdles. No sale is without its final challenges, and Tracy tackles these with the same clarity and empathy that define his work. In Part 3, he addresses the last-minute stall, where a prospect hesitates just before signing. With a teacher's patience, he explains that these moments often stem from fear of commitment or lingering doubts. Tracy's solution is a blend of reassurance and gentle pressure, using techniques like the puppy-dog close, where the prospect is invited to try the product or service with no risk. His anecdote of a software salesperson offering a free trial that led to a major contract is both relatable and inspiring, showing how persistence and creativity can turn hesitation into agreement. Tracy also addresses the fear of rejection, a universal challenge for salespeople. With a storyteller's flair, he shares how top performers reframe rejection as feedback, using it to refine their approach. His advice is practical yet profound. Keep a journal of every sale, noting what worked and what didn't, to turn setbacks into stepping stones. This section is a powerful reminder that obstacles are not the end of the road, but part of the journey, and Tracy's words infuse the reader with the courage to push through. Building long-term relationships. One of Part 3's most compelling insights is Tracy's focus on the bigger picture. Closing is not just about today's sale, but about tomorrow's customer. He emphasizes that the best salespeople don't just close, they create lifelong relationships. With vivid clarity, he explains how follow-ups, thank you notes, and genuine care turn one-time buyers into loyal advocates. Tracy's story of a salesperson who built a thriving career by checking in with clients regularly feels like a masterclass in human connection, showing how small gestures can yield massive results. He also introduces the concept of referral closing, where a satisfied customer becomes a source of new leads. Tracy's advice is actionable. Ask for referrals confidently, but only after delivering exceptional value. His prose is warm yet commanding, urging the reader to see every sale as the start of a relationship, not the end. This focus on long-term success adds depth to the book, making it clear that closing is not just about money. It's about building trust, reputation, and a legacy. 3 key insights and takeaways from the book. 1. Closing is a mindset, not just a moment. Tracy emphasizes that closing a sale is not a single event, but a mindset built on confidence, preparation, and persistence. Success begins with believing in yourself and your product, reinforced by thorough preparation and a habit of seeing every interaction as a step toward the close. This takeaway urges salespeople to cultivate a daily practice of positive self-talk, product mastery, and goal setting, transforming closing into a natural extension of their approach rather than a high-pressure finale. 2. Mastering the psychology of the buyer is crucial. Understanding what drives a prospect's decision, emotions like fear of loss or desire for gain, is at the heart of effective closing. Tracy teaches that asking thoughtful questions, listening actively, and building trust are key to uncovering and addressing a buyer's needs. Techniques like the trial close or assumptive close work because they align with the prospect's emotional journey, making the decision to buy feel natural and collaborative. This insight empowers salespeople to focus on connection over coercion. Objections are opportunities, and relationships are the goal. Tracy reframes objections as signs of engagement, offering a structured approach to address them with empathy and clarity. Beyond the immediate sale, he stresses the importance of building long-term relationships through follow-ups and genuine care, which lead to repeat business and referrals. This takeaway highlights that closing is not just about today's win, but about creating a legacy of trust and loyalty that fuels sustained success. These insights encapsulate Tracy's core message. Closing is an art that combines mindset, strategy, and relationship building to achieve not just sales, but a thriving career. Thanks for listening to Book Buzz Reviews and Summaries.